So in this particular video, we are going to be setting up our development environment for our course. So for setting up the development environment, we need to install two pieces of software onto our system. So for that, first of all, we will open our preferred browser, and over there, we're going to be searching for VS Code on Google search. And after searching, we will get this first result that will be the official website of Visual Studio Code. So you can see code.visualstudiocode.com. So we will just click on this first link and we will be redirected to the official website of Visual Studio Code. So we are going to be using the Visual Studio Code for developing our code, and we are going to be using it as our IDE or code editor. So on this page, you can see there is a button to download it for Windows stable version. So we will just click on it and it will start downloading it onto our system. So you can see it has started the download. Over here, if we go back on the page, you can see that this is the latest version of this. So you might be having a question in your mind that why we are using the VS Code. So VS Code offers a variety of features that we can use in our code development that will help us to automate a lot of tasks, and it will help us while developing our code. So you can see there is an IntelliSense that it offers. It offers some debugging part as well, and it has Git commands built in with the VS Code. And you can see there are different extensions and customizable extensions that are available in the marketplace. So there is a marketplace where we can download all the extension for each and every programming language out there, and we can use VS Code for other development purposes as well with other programming languages like C, C++, Java, Python, etc. So it supports a lot of programming languages, and a lot of extensions are available in the marketplace using which we can get a lot of assistance with the help of these extensions that are available. So it will help us to easily write the code. And if I keep scrolling, you can see VS Code 4, and these are all the supported languages that VS Code offers. And you can see we can add multiple language support at the same time. So let's say you are a person who works on different programming languages at the same time. It will be very helpful for you to use VS Code as compared to other IDEs. So let's say you are using Java, Python, and C++ at the same time. You can add different extension for all these programming languages from the marketplace in our VS Code and use it as our code editor, and it will support all the three programming languages at the same time. So you don't need to install IDEs for each and every programming language. Instead of that, you can use the VS Code as the code editor, and we can add different language support with the help of the marketplace extensions. After that, you can see here that it also supports Linux and Mac. So if you are on Linux or Mac system, you can download it for your appropriate system. Right now, I will be showing you the setup for Windows system. So once our download is completed, we will just try to install this particular piece of software onto our system. Other than VS Code IDE, we are going to be installing another piece of software that is called Sublime Text Editor. So we will just search here Sublime Text. So over here you can see the second result is for Sublime Text, and after searching it, you can see that this is the official website of Sublime Text Editor. So we can just click on this and it will show us the download page for this text editor. So this is a lightweight text editor that we can use to quickly make changes into our code, which is our HTML and CSS code. We can quickly open the file and make changes quickly. So we don't need to open VS Code and make small changes. For making smaller changes, we can use the Sublime Text Editor. So we will just click on download and it will start downloading it onto our system. So once the download is completed, we will install these both pieces of software onto our system and set up our development environment for our course. So now the download is completed and I have stored these both pieces of software in a new folder. So you can see here are the software that we have downloaded. So first of all, let's install the VS Code IDE. So we will double click on the exe file of VS Code, and after that we will just click on I accept this agreement. So we just need to select this radio box from here and we will click on next. After this, you can see all the settings are checked by default. So we will just keep it to the default and click on next. And if we just click on install, so it will start installing it onto our system. So I already have installed VS Code on my system, so I am not going to be installing it. But if you click on install, it will start installing it onto your system. Once the installation is completed, whenever you just right click in any of the folder, you will get an option to open with code. So you can see here is an option to open with code. So if we just click on that, So it will open the VS Code inside this particular folder. So it will ask us to authorize this particular folder. So we will just click on yes, I trust the author, and after that it will open the VS Code inside that particular folder. So after opening VS Code, we can install the extensions for HTML and CSS by going to the extension market. So here is the marketplace. You can see there are different icons that are available over here. So you can see run and debug, source control, there is option for search, this is the explorer, and after that at the end we have extension. So if we click on extension marketplace, so this is the marketplace from where we can install all the extension for different languages. So for our course, we're going to be requiring HTML extension. So you can see there is an extension which is HTML snippets. There is HTML CSS support, IntelliSense. So you can see there are different extensions that are available over here. So we're going to be first of all installing the snippet, HTML snippet. After that, we are going to be installing HTML preview. So using it, we can run our server and see the final output of our HTML page. So we are going to be installing these two pieces of libraries or extension for now. And once we are done with that, we are good to go. So these are the two extensions that we're going to be installing from the marketplace. So once we are done with that, we will just try to close this VS Code for now. And we're going to be starting writing our first piece of code from the next video. Till then, we will just try to install the Sublime Text as well. So we'll just double click on the Sublime Text exe file and it will ask us for the administrative permission. We will just click on yes and it will start the installation process for us. So you can see it has opened the installation page. We will click on next, and it will ask us to install. After clicking install, it will start installing it onto our system. So if I just click on install, you can see it has started installing it on our system. And now you can see it has completed the installation process. If I click on finish, so we have now successfully installed the Sublime Text as well. So if we just try to open Sublime, if I just go to start menu and type here Sublime, so you can see here is the Sublime Text editor that it has installed onto our system. So we have successfully installed the Sublime Text editor as well onto our system. So you can see here is the interface of the Sublime Text editor and we have successfully installed the Sublime Text editor as well onto our system. So for making smaller changes, we're going to be using Sublime Text editor, and for writing the entire code, we're going to be using the VS Code. Over here, you can see we have installed the VS Code as well as the Sublime Text. The interface for both of these software is quite different than each other. So we will be learning all these things further in the course. For now, we just need to install these two pieces of software onto our system for getting started with our course. So I hope you are successfully able to install these both pieces of software onto your system. So that was it for this particular video on installing and setting up our development environment for the course. So without further ado, let's move to the next video of our course.